Did you know that God has given each one of us the responsibility to be guardians of our own hearts? In Proverbs 4:23, it says, "Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life." When the Bible refers to the heart, God is referring to the seat of your affections, the place where your thoughts, your attitudes, and your values dwell. It's out of our heart then that flow the issues of our lives, which make up all that we are, our relationships with our family, our friends, our church community, our jobs. Everything that we do is affected by what dwells in our hearts. So God's given us the responsibility to watch over and pay attention what we allow to dwell in our hearts. This takes vigilance and diligence because we live in an imperfect world. Vigilance because we have a spiritual enemy who would like us to become lulled to sleep spiritually and succumb to the ways of the world rather than paying attention to what we allow to rest in our hearts. Diligence because it is an ongoing job. It's not a one and done deal. If we get lazy in our thinking and attitudes, we'll find ourselves conforming to the attitudes and values of this world, which will then permeate our hearts, and then instead of giving life-giving springs of water flowing from our heart, we're giving off polluted water from the cesspools of this corrupt world. Unfortunately, I experienced this recently in my own life. I had a day at the office where I was not a good guardian of my heart. There were a number of issues that came up that were frustrating, irritating, and discouraging. So instead of taking the time to deal with all the emotions that I was feeling in a godly manner, I let them overrun me and spill out into the office environment. At the end of the day, I was not only unhappy with the projects that were not successful, but I was mostly unhappy with my miserable attitude. Before I left for the afternoon, I apologized to my coworker for my poor attitude. I had not been home for more than 5 minutes when my husband said, "So how was your day?" And I responded, "Not so well." And he said, "Yeah, I can tell." So it's out of the heart come the issues of life, whether they're good or bad. Now, God made us as human beings with the ability to experience emotions. At times, we as Christians can tend to try to ignore or suppress the emotions that we're feeling. Instead, we need to acknowledge them and then take the necessary action so that those emotions that are not in alignment with God can not permeate our hearts. In Philippians 4:6, God says, "Be anxious for nothing." Anxiety can come from a heart that has not been guarded or taken care of. God says, "Be anxious for nothing, but that in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto Him." We need to be aware of our emotions and when needed, take a time out to reconnect and get in harmony with God for however long that needs to be. This is like what we do with children. Sometimes they need a time out to get an attitude adjustment to prevent them from having bad behavior. Our timeouts with God are vital for a healthy heart. In Philippians 4:7, God says that as a result of taking everything to Him in prayer with thanksgiving, that the peace of God will guard our hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. When we're at peace with God, we're in the place of our greatest strength because we have put ourselves in submission to the one who has made us. The most effective way to keep a healthy heart is to stay connected to the one who created us. God is our source of life-giving springs of water. He created us so that His life-giving Spirit flows through us and we can bear its fruit. Let's pay attention and watch over our hearts so that in every area of our lives We're in a state of readiness to receive everything that God has for us, and then His love and His goodness flow through to us, to others. God bless you.